Hiya, so I just thought I would come on and talk about all the plants that I had in my garden in 2024 and how I started them and what the garden was looking like at certain times and then the big difference later on, because it can get really disheartening in January, February when things are just not looking that great. I have to say, I quite like the way it looks. I think if you've got wee bits of interest, like as you've seen a wee while ago, I've got like my wee broken wooden wheelbarrow and things like that. But yeah, so here's looking really bare. There's not much going on at all. Or here, little things are starting to poke up. But my issue in January and February, especially February, going into March maybe, is that you see little things poking up, but you're not quite sure if it's a weed. So last year there was one that I thought was campanula, and I left it for ages. And it was in all different spots because I had sort of split it and moved it around and decided that I would leave it and it's going to look really lovely. And then it turned out that it was a weed. It was quite similar, the leaf shape and everything, but anyway, it was easy to pull out in the end, but I did let it go a bit too far. So this is sort of the end of January here, and you can see that I've started to think about what I'm going to buy, and I think I might have made a purchase with these, a few pink ones, which was really nice. And this is my little propagator, which is actually a lantern, and it's got like cellophane. I put cellophane over the roof of it because I have cats, so I really need to protect my little seedlings because Bear especially really loves to chomp on them. It's not the first time he's left my little sweet pea seedlings just lying on the draining board like little dead bodies. This is February time and you can see things are poking up. I have like little tulips coming up. Lupin even is starting. My lupin is looking quite big this year even compared to last year. And this is where the Annabelle hydrangea is and it's looking nothing. That's a weed, I think. But you know, it's one of those things you leave and then you find out, And this was my attempt at a topiary. And you can see the alliums are getting really big here. I love this little view. And a hellebore. And I'm not sure, that's something that's budding up though. It might be my hydrangea. And look at all the daffodils coming up. And look who I found in that blooming grows on. Honestly, last year it was a really, really wet spring and the amount of slugs and snails was insane. I am surprised any of my plants survived. I remember having to re-sow, I'm sure it was my straw flowers because I think they all got chomped. It was a nightmare. And there's a wee echinops there at the back. And that's a cherry blossom just starting. It's tiny at the moment. Some Bellis perennis, they were sown from seed the sort of June, July previous. And you can see the alliums are really coming up now. That, I have to say, I protected that with eggshells and slug repellent. And it turned out that it was a weed. I thought it was my echinacea had come back. There's my peony, just poking through. I think that was like end of February-ish. My skimmia looking really nice. The hellebore's really getting some height there. And this is the front border. I don't think I'll ever be happy with that because it's so narrow, but I try to plant it up as much as I can. And these tulips, this is my bulb lasagna. The only thing I did wrong, I would say, was the bulbs were perfect, but then when they were dying off, I had also planted poppies and things, so it ended up being quite a mess with all the foliage and things, but I learn, hopefully. Now, that was another mistake. Ranunculus overplanted over my gladiola bulbs. I just like to experiment, and I would definitely, maybe it was nothing to do, maybe it was just because it was so wet, but the gladiolas really were terrible. They did next to nothing. The tulips here, they're just lovely. See the raindrops on them, even more stunning. And this is how it's looking sort of in March. Fritillaria, peony getting bigger. And this is my sweet rocket. I was really impressed with that, which you'll see later. That's the tulips that you just saw. They were stunning. I really hope they come back this year. They are growing, so hopefully they'll flower. And that was just a wee cage that I made with some willow branches. And that was my wheelbarrow planted out with ranunculus. And this is just the end of March going into April. How gorgeous is this red dogwood looking with the leaves on it? I think a sunny day also makes things look just beautiful. This is us definitely into April now, and more tulips are coming up in that bulb lasagna. And that was my hydrangea cutting that had come through the winter and had started to get leaves and everything. And fritillaria, planted quite a few, but didn't get very many, but still, they were lovely. This is my favourite, this Brunnera. Wow. It's the silver heart, and it's just gorgeous. More of my pom-pom daisies that were grown from seed. Very proud of them. Peony getting bigger. And the skimmia getting nice flowers and everything. That's Annabelle hydrangea again with some leaves. And my calamagrostis grass. And more tulips. And a wee minute ago that was forget-me-not, the blue ones. And more honesty. And here's the forget-me-nots really coming into their own now. And more tulips again. Look at the colour of this daisy. It's stunning. I really liked this little bit, even though it was very temporary because we were sort of trying to organise a side garden. This is a beautiful day, obviously. Now this is a side, it changes quite a bit because we put a path in. It was really... In fact, it wasn't really getting me down. I knew I had a plan, but I just didn't know what we were going to do because obviously everything had to be done on a budget as well. That's in a stilby that was a bare root the previous year, and that was its first year flowering in 2024. My little fairy again. More alliums popping up. I think that was a Schubertii. And hellebores standing tall. More tulips, that was from that same pot, the lasagna. And the forget-me-nots are just stunning. I really love this little area. Me looking quite happy because things were starting to grow. And a big hydrangea in the back. And that's a little cut and growing again. And then some Veronica coming up there. The overwhelm was real here. Another daisy. And Sweet William starting to flower. A stilby again. More tulips and some daffodils as well. I loved these ones. They were the peony tulips. And I think that's my Queen of Sweden bare root. And a couple of hydrangeas that I got for next to nothing last year. That was really good. And also lilies are starting to come up, which is exciting. Veronica's flowering beautifully. Look at it, it's gorgeous. My bleeding heart bare root getting bigger. And the primula has got some buds on it as well. And now my hydrangea cutting from the year or two previously looking fabulous. I'm so excited for that one. And then the beautiful azalea, which really comes into its own next month. More tulips again, the double peony. Forget-me-not. No, that's a Brunnera. And the peony again, I just loved that. It's gorgeous. A wee bud in the peony. Bleeding heart, getting its first wee bloom, I think. And the stilby's getting bigger. An allium. I think that's a drumstick one. Nice view, I love that. And look at that azalea. Absolutely gorgeous. And then the primula. I've divided that this year, so hopefully we'll get quite a few more blooms of that. Alliums. See when the sun hits everything, it just looks so lovely. And this is my Supertunia Vista bubblegum. Look how tiny it is. I put the cage over because I thought that the birds would get it. And I couldn't believe the size that it actually got and all the blooms. It was amazing. My Vanessa Bell starting to open, and there she is. Gorgeous. And lilies, they were a total bargain. And that's a tiny wine 9 bark. Look at this, that's Schubertii. And a ranunculus. Another ranunculus. And my bargain lilies opening up. beautifully. Nishibertii allium again, and that's Aquilegia grown from seed. My snapdragon that came back from the previous year. And this is a lobelia that I planted around echinacea. Wait until you see that in the summer, it's just gorgeous. And then here's the peony opened up, beautiful. And the pink fizz poppy grown from seed, absolutely stunning. And this is the night sky petunia. I absolutely love that one. It's another pink fizz poppy. See, it's slightly different with the white centre. Christophii starting to really open up. And I love this wee view with the lavender and the Christophii and lilies coming up. I love this area with a mixture of Brunnera, Heuchera, Crocosmia. There's hosta in the back, the ivy climbing up the fence. Just love it. And gorgeous little pansies, or viola actually, and supertunia starting to flower. And beautiful as still be. I have bought some of these in pink this year, so hopefully they'll come. And that's a night sky petunia again, really like that. Some cornflowers grown from seed. They were a bit iffy last year. Enjoying my cuppa. And the supertunia's getting a wee bit more size. Now this petunia I wasn't keen on. It looks alright there, but a lot of the pink and the white was a bit yellowy sometimes. And this is balloon flowers. That was my first time buying them and I loved them. And this is lace cap hydrangea. I think it's Zorro. And now the lupin. Isn't it amazing the different lighting makes? It just looks like a different plant here. And this is a patch where my dahlias planted out. They had only been planted out maybe a week or so before this, so they're looking good. A wee sunflower. And this is the area with the snapdragons and the Christophii and the cutting from my hydrangea. Look at that Christophii, it's stunning. And another pretty poppy, pink fizz again. And I bought this Coreopsis for about £1.25, and wait till you see it later on, it looks great. And this is a balloon flower, just getting better and better. Absolutely love it. So this has taken us up to the end of June, and I think that'll do for this video. I'm going to do another one for July to December. Bye for now.